This is another and special edition of the Locker Room Podcast. Jack, it's been a week. It's been a week. It's been a week. We got a lot coming up for you. We're going to break down the Super Bowl. We're going to talk that crazy NBA trade deadline. And, of course, we have to talk Kevin Durant if we're going to talk that. But first, Jack, we had a phenomenal Super Bowl that was slightly sullied at the end with a call that was questionable. But all in all, the Super Bowl delivered what it was supposed to deliver.
Yeah, we'll get into what Bradbury had to say post-game afterwards, but
Yeah.
I thought that was a fantastic game. It was everything that we hoped for. It was everything we talked about. It was an offensive game. It was a great offensive lineman show. No sack. I don't think there was a sack on either end.
Insane.
Except for the one fumble that Hurts played. It was clean on both sides. It was great quarterback play by both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see the stars show out. Kelsey got a touchdown. Brown had an amazing touchdown. Devontae Smith almost had a touchdown. Pacheco showed that he is going to be a young stud in this league, and he's going to be a stud for a long time if he keeps it up. And it just had a lot of promises that were fulfilled, which is great. It's everything that everyone hoped for. Did everybody pick the Chiefs pregame? No. It was a lot of Eagles fans, a lot of Eagles predictions. But it just showed you why Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid can never be counted out.
And they can never be counted out. So I'll start with the quarterbacks. They both played phenomenal football. Mahomes, retweaking that ankle, which I kind of knew he would. I knew he would be okay going into the game. Yeah, he's had some weeks to rest. But when you have a high ankle sprain, it's so easily tweaked. Easily. He didn't even get it fully twisted when he got tackled, and he immediately tweaked it. But he came back out of halftime with the cape on, and he was phenomenal in the second half. He didn't throw for a lot of yards, but he was precise. He was very accurate. He was very efficient. I think he only missed like 6 passes. I think it was like 20 for 26 or something like that. He was great. Jalen Hurts outplayed Patrick Mahomes, and that's not something I expected to say. Jalen Hurts was phenomenal all night. The 3 rushing touchdowns and the passing touchdown, 4 total touchdowns. But it was more about the passes he was making. I mean, he was throwing absolute dimes. He played, and a lot of people have also been echoing this, the best football game I've seen him play. I've never seen him play that well. Accuracy, timing, escaping the pocket. And I just love watching those 2 black quarterbacks perform and leave it all out there. And I think Patrick said it best. If there were any doubts before, there shouldn't be any now. When it comes to Jalen Hurts. He is a franchise quarterback. He is going to get franchise quarterback money. Philly ain't shy about paying their guys. And I think it was just phenomenal to see them be as good as they were in the moment, as big as it was.
I don't think this is the last time these two meet in the Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
Me neither.
I think these two will go down. They'll face each other again.
It's going to happen again.
Different pieces there, obviously. But I think just how talented both squads are, and I think it depends if Andy Reid retires or not. But I mean, he
ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it just with his health and everything. But you never know. I think with those 2 teams, they're gonna run the AFC and the NFC for times to come. They're gonna be the toughest competition to beat.
Yeah.
Obviously there's gonna be off-season trades and it's gonna be different, but those are gonna still be the top dogs in the next coming years. And I think there were a few parts that really spoke to me post-game, right? You just broke down everything during the game. It was comments made post-game and videos I saw that really kind of changed my perspective on some things. The Bradbury admitting that he held Juju, that was something. To me, the Eagles were always a team that I never liked. And is it because I'm a Giants fan? Probably.
For obvious reasons.
Yes. But they really showed something that they didn't blame anything on the refs. They didn't blame anything on anybody but themselves. One play this, one play that. And I respect the hell out of that. That's a mature team. I think that was a big thing for the Eagles is maturity on a loss. They're going to come back. I think Jalen Hurts had to grow up fast. Just because of the way he came into the league, and he already had like a target on his back just from being benched. He went to Oklahoma, then he went to the NFL. How is he going to perform? And look where he is now. He was 1 win away from winning a Super Bowl. So I think his maturity and what he says, we'll be back. We just got to learn from this. I think that's fantastic. And the other thing that I saw post game that was going on the maturity thing was I saw this clip of Sirianni kind of going like this, like telling the Chiefs to come back after a challenge play, and Hurts knocks his hand down. If your quarterback is more mature than the head coach, that's kind of an issue. But I'm not to say that Sirianni's not a good coach because he is, but I think that maturity, if you practice what you preach, kind of a thing, man, like I think that team could be unstoppable. Sirianni is a good coach, but I think that level, of the maturity thing, that might come back to bite him in the ass at some point. Who knows? But I think that having Hurts as a quarterback really helps to level everybody out, and I think the Eagles are a very level team in maturity wise.
I definitely can agree they're a very mature team, very well put together bunch. I don't agree with your take on Nick Sirianni just because it was caught on camera. I hate to tell you, that's not as that's not as far fetched from a lot of NFL coaches as you would think. That's kind of how it goes, especially with the younger ones and things like that. I saw nothing wrong with it because he was excellent during the game, before the game, and even post game. And getting back to the Bradbury thing, it was a correct call. It was just very unfortunate timing, and more of the disappointment I have with it. It was a ticky-tack call. So yes, it technically is the right call, but it's very ticky-tack, and they didn't call it all game. That's what makes the controversy. See, if they call that earlier in the game, they've been allowing that on both sides all day. You can't wait until that moment to call it. So yes, it is the right call. There's no controversy with it. There's no way that was a hold. It was a minor hold that they have been letting go all game. And then you call it in the biggest moments. And as fans, we were robbed of Jalen Hurts down 3 points with a minute and change left. We were robbed of that. And you could go down to tie it up, could go down to score. We don't know what would have happened. And to have such a great game kind of end like that, it just kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but still a phenomenal game. What I was shocked at, and I talked about this leading up, and I have to give the Chiefs offensive line credit and Andy Reid and their scheme credit. The Eagles D-line did not get home one time, even after Patrick Mahomes was wounded. They got a couple hits, but they could not get home. Now, a little small percentage of it, that field was very slick. Every player talked about how slick that field was, even Pat Mahomes himself. I saw Hassan Reddick falling and the other edge rusher on the other side falling a lot. On the play where Mahomes scrambles out and gets almost in the end zone, Hassan Reddick fell, and the old lineman just got on top of him. He literally just fell. So I could tell the field was a bit of an issue, but the Eagles never adjusted. They assumed that they would get home with 4, and they never adjusted. At some point, they had to start bringing the heat in the second half and switching things up, and I think it bit them. And I love the way the Chiefs took advantage of. I thought this was a chess match. I thought it was an excellent chess match because you saw the Eagles, especially in the first half, go empty a lot. There was something they saw on film that what the Chiefs do, that when they go empty, they like the looks better. They were going empty a ton. And it was working. They were running QB runs out of it. Jalen Hurts was throwing it quick out of it. There was something they saw schematically that said empty is going to work against the Chiefs. There's his Spags pressure, the way he likes to disguise things, because when you're in empty, you cannot, the defense can't disguise anything. It's too spread out. They have to cover. They have to show their hand. So I think that was great by the Eagles coaching staff. And then on the other hand, the Chiefs figured out what the Eagles would do in the red zone against motion. And what they were doing was they're doing what we call rocking the corner and the safety. So when they see a motion coming across, they would assume he's going to go to the other side. So the guy, it's man covered. So the guy covering him would back up to the safety position. And then the safety would come down and take the receiver on the other side. And they noticed that. And then right the next play, they do that same motion and manipulate it, but then sneak them out the same way. They've already rocked. They out-leveraged them. So they used their own principles against them, and it was just phenomenal to see. It was a chess match. It was like watching a heavyweight fight of two real boxers. They were going at it. They were adjusting, and it came down to the wire. I love that football game. I think we saw 2 great quarterbacks, but most importantly, I think we saw 2 great offensive minds in Andy Reid. And then, God, why do I forget the Eagles offensive coordinator? I think Shane something, and he just got hired by the Indianapolis Colts. By the way, that is official. Adam Schefter just broke that about 20 minutes ago. So no shocker there. They were phenomenal. And I thought game plans were great. Eagles pass rush let them down in this game. And I did not expect that to be the case.
In our 26 years, 25 years of being alive, would you say this is one of the better Super Bowls you've seen? Like top three?
Yes. Top three is tough because I've seen some great ones. Brady 28-3. Roethlisberger to Santonio Holmes. The Eagles over the Patriots. Oh man, the Giants stopping the Patriots. I know that wasn't a high scoring game twice, but stopping the undefeated season, most especially. Man, like there's just been, it's too hard. It's way too hard. Legion of Boom, the Patriots intercepting the Seahawks at the last minute. Oh no, at the goal line. Like there's been too much. It's up there. It's in the conversation. It was a phenomenal Super Bowl. But Jack, one thing we have to get to, Pat Mahomes. He's having the best start to a career that any NFL player has ever had. I truly don't think that's debatable. I think they actually debated on PTI and said no, and were trying to throw Troy Aikman's and all that. Shut up. Troy Aikman won 3. Okay, he didn't look anywhere as good as Pat Mahomes, and he ain't win no MVP. Like he stop it. He wasn't throwing 5,050 tugs. Stop. I don't want to hear that. This is the best start to a career. But the conversation now, Jack, is there's some people who want to say he's already a top 3 quarterback of all time. What do you think?
There's no doubt for me.
You have no doubt that he's already a top 3 quarterback of all time.
Here's the thing: is that everyone's kind of, I don't want to. I say he's a top. I think he's the most talented quarterback of all time.
Okay, we said that about Aaron Rodgers till Pat Mahomes. That's not what I asked.
No,
is he a top 3 quarterback of all
he's
time? Because that's what everybody's trying to anoint and talk about. Is he top 3? Is he top 5? I have an answer.
So, is yours no?
I know where he's at. I'm asking you.
I think if he wins one more Super Bowl.
No, if I'm talking right now, today, Jack. Don't tap dance.
He's 3.
He's 3?
He's 3.
I don't think he's 3. He's 4th or 5th, and I'm gonna tell you why. Tom Brady, of course.
Yeah.
Joe Montana. Peyton Manning. He's got 5 MVPs. 2 both. Like, let's not act like he don't have 5 MVPs. And I'm going John Elway. So I got him 5th. Okay. He's 5th right now. John Elway went to 5 Bowls. I know he won the 2, but he dragged teams and lost like 3 times in the Super Bowl. He dragged trash teams. The moment John Elway got a team, he was winning. So people forget how good John Elway was. I don't want to hear Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, or anybody like that.
Stop.
But
he's past Aaron Rodgers.
He's past Aaron Rodgers. He is not past Tom Brady.
No.
Joe, Peyton, and John. Not yet. I think he will. I think the only person who will be in question is Tom, and that will be subjective, kind of like LeBron, MJ. We'll see. Mm-hmm. But he has not passed those 3 yet. He's 5th. He's 5th already in his career. That's nothing to sneeze at. But people have so much recency bias about how just how talented and just great he is, which he is. The best start to a career ever. But he ain't top 5 yet. He's the first ballot Hall of Fame already, but he ain't top 5 yet. So are all those guys.
You mean he is top 5? He's 6.
My fault. He's 5th. My fault. He's not top 3 yet. Apologies. He's not top 3 yet. He's not. He's already in top 5 to be this early, but he is not top 3 yet. He's not just going to leapfrog greatness because of recency.
Okay. I say this is that I'm with you and I'm against you. So I think that because we never got the chance to experience Elway and never got to experience Montana in our amazing time now, in our peakness, that we didn't get to see them in their peakness. So I can't decide on that. But just from the accolades and everything with Montana and Brady, I can't put him there. I think Peyton Manning is a winner. I I really want to like say Mahomes is better than Manning right now, but and now looking at and what you said, it makes sense to say like, yeah, he's top five. I'm
Yeah,
just saying how recent in his first 5 years as a starter, 5 years as a starter,
yeah,
he's been to 3 Super Bowls already.
yeah.
Um, and I wonder if it's kind of like the debate that with Belichick and Brady that they had. Was it the
Hmm.
coach or the player? I think like, it just shows that like if
No,
you
it's the
have,
player.
yeah, I was gonna say if you have Mahomes,
System matters, but
yeah, the system matters. But if you have Mahomes back there, man, like they had no Tyreek Hill this year, and that was what everyone was talking about. They
no
have
elite receivers.
they have no. You're right. They have no elite receivers. Kelsey does count as pass
Kelsey's just
catcher.
he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
But outside of him,
you
a
had
bunch of
like Brady had
decent
Gronk.
guys.
Brady
Yeah,
had Gronk, so it's like
and Edelman
basically,
and Welker.
yep. And then Manning had he had plenty of receivers too. It's just
Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne. You know,
see, this is where I
everybody
get
has guys. Joe has Jerry, and Pat has Travis, and he had Tyreek. Let's not act like he didn't have Tyreek. He had Tyreek
he
this
had
year
Tyreek, and this year it
for
was
two of those Super Bowls.
and I think with the Chiefs is that they were like rotating running backs too, right? And they were
That's a
fighting
good thing in
injury.
the NFL. Yeah,
Yeah, and they were didn't we talk about this though?
we did.
We had this conversation of like you don't need the best running back to go in. You could just throw in a
No.
guy that's going to go get it done for you,
Now,
and
if
you're
you
gonna
can get one, it's good to have, but you
yeah.
don't need one to be successful these
And
days.
and I
There's a
thought
lot of
because
running
that's
back talent. You can get a lot of late talent, young talent, who are just as good.
right. And we were talking about this with like the Vikings, and this is where we thought they were frauds, is because you still had Kirk Cousins, even though they had Dalvin Cook and the best receivers, they still had
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins under center. Imagine they had Patrick Mahomes under center. Like
Yeah.
that. Like if you put Patrick Mahomes anywhere, he's a winner. So
Mhm.
I think that's the thing is like with those other guys, do you think they're winners?
Yes, they are winners. Scheme and fit always matter. There's no quarterback or no one player. Now they greatly. You get Patrick Mahomes, your chances go up for sure. You get Aaron Rodgers, you get Tom, no matter what. But coaching and scheme does matters. We have to stop acting like they're two separate. Not you, but just like people in general
Yeah.
have to stop acting like players don't need coaching. No, coaching is phenomenal. Patrick Mahomes couldn't read a goddamn defense when he came into the league, as talented as he was. Andy Reid made things simple for him. They assembled talent around him and they made it simple for him. And now he's matured and become that big time pro mind quarterback. His mind has finally caught up to his talent. And that's the scariest part of all of this. That now his mind is sharp. He's reading coverages, he's diagnosing. It's not just matchups anymore for him. I got Tyreek, I got Travis, so I'm going to make a play. He can still do all of that, but now he can think the game at a high level, and that's coaching and that's scheme. So it does matter. But talent, I mean, when you get greats, your chances always go up. But you can mess up greatness. You can. You can ruin it. You can put a cap on it. You can do things to where they can't flourish to the point that they will. Coaches kill more players' careers than players kill coaches' careers. And that's a fact.
That's a fact. Absolutely. I that's preaching, and I think that's at any stage of
Yes.
any and that's any sport.
Yep.
That's so upsetting that people like lose their love of the sport because of coaches.
Yes.
That's a whole episode.
Yeah.
That's
That's
a
all.
whole.
That's a whole episode to diagnose in itself, man. Because there are far more bad coaches out here than bad players, and I'll stand by that. I will stand by it.
Absolutely. So
Time for
yeah, I think it's kind of time for our favorite segment, but it's going to segue into a little NBA. Here we go.
Hey yo, what the?
man. Oh man, Jack, bring us in. Whew.
Yo, when was the last time you saw breaking news at 1:13 a.m. Eastern time?
I was at work.
So was I.
I thought I was getting ready to leave. Ended up having to stay till 3:30. Can I tell you how I found out and how
Yes.
I had to? So
Yes.
I'm at work. I'm in screening. Screening for when you work at radio is you gathering all the sound and highlights and analysis and stuff from the day. So it's winding down. It was Kyrie's debut. All I was waiting for was Kyrie to speak at his press conference. Couple words. SVP's on the TV.
Yes, he
SVP's
is.
like, and we'll hear from Kyrie Irving. and a bit here and more, blah, blah, blah. They playing the SVP music. They're getting
Oh, I
ready to
know.
go to break. SVP goes, Kevin Durant to Phoenix. I'm getting word in my ear. Kevin Durant to Phoenix. We'll drive more after the break. What? Our Sports Center show just went on air 5 minutes ago. I run down there and tell them. And they're like, what? I get in the host's ear. Kevin Durant to Phoenix. He's like, excuse me? He's in the middle of playing a piece. He's like, excuse me? I'm like, Kevin Durant to Phoenix. Woj just coming on SVP. I'll have everything for you. Another guy who was at work and left came back because when news breaks like that, we got to get production ready. We got to get different things ready. We got to get sound. We had Nick Friedel come on Sports and on. It was just a madhouse. Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns for Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, 4th and a pick swap. I think this is one of those rare occasions where both teams win.
Yes,
and
I agree.
And Jack, both teams clearly win. The Nets clearly seen it wasn't working. They traded Kyrie Irving. They got a pretty good haul back for somebody who forced his way out and basically took away all their leverage. They still got some good stuff back for him. And then you trade Kevin Durant, you get 2 young wings. I think they can build around Bridges, and they got some young talent, and they got a plethora of picks. So now they're primed to reload, to try it again, to maybe trade for other superstars or go in the draft and get young superstars. It was time to hit the reset. You fired the coach. You got rid of Kyrie. Teams weren't even going to trade with him to build around KD. It was time. Phoenix Suns. Matt Ishiba's first day, Jack. First day as owner, he got Kevin Durant. He got Kevin Durant on his first day. The bar is here now. You went and got Kevin Durant, and you kept Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton. Oh my God! We're going to get into the fit and how crazy this is going to be. But tell me, what were your thoughts when it broke, and what were you thinking as far as the trade?
I didn't really have much of a thought until I saw the Nets play first.
Yeah.
Afterwards, with everybody on the team,
not a bad team.
It's really not, because I look at it as
bunch of wings,
but not just any wings, right? So for Kyrie, you got Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie, 2 3-and-D guys, and Spencer Dinwiddie is one of the better playmakers in the league, right? Yep. He's a pure scorer. Okay, yes. That's pretty good. But by the way, neither of them have egos. They just play basketball, right? They're no Kyrie Irving egos. Kevin Durant goes to the Suns. Now, losing Kevin Durant's huge. Kevin Durant's also hurt at the moment, and he's just kind of, he's battling injuries. Okay, well, let's go out and get one of the best 3-and-D players in Mikal Bridges, who's only getting better with time.
Yes.
Cam Johnson, who's one of the better shooters that helped them lead to the finals 2 years ago with his shooting and his defense. So if I'm Jacques Vaughn, I'm going, all right, 5 out.
Yes.
5 out defense. Day. They can switch on anything. They can defend anything.
Yep.
That's a scary team. In the
not to win a title, but that team is going to be. They're going to be in every game. They could be the team in the play-in.
Yeah,
you can mess around and find out they're not going to win a series, but they can compete with anybody.
They can stay, like, if they stay in that 4th or 6th spot. I mean, they're at the number 4 spot, and they have the amount of games they have left after the All-Star break.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll see if they can keep it going there, but I think it's just I think it's a lot of good fits there. Mikal Bridges kind of gets to go out of his comfort zone a little bit. Yeah. We get to see Cam Thomas kind of take on this new role. He's a stud. He can score.
A lot of young talent.
And I think it's fun to watch. Now, for the Suns, you just look at it and you're just like, oh my God. Okay, so we're going to have our best defender guard Durant. All right, what are we going to do about Booker? All right, our second best defender is going to guard Booker. All right, what are we going to do about CP3?
You're going to hide your worst defender on Chris Paul. They're going to run pick and roll with Chris Paul and whoever they want to get the switch on. Oh, you don't want to switch it? That's barbecue chicken. He's the point guy. What do you do? I say, what do you do against this team? How do you stop that?
Yeah.
Devin Booker and Kevin Durant both like coming off pin downs. They can come off pin downs for each other. Are you going to switch it? What are you going to do? Look, there's enough shooting. You can't double. Even Ayton can shoot.
Yeah, and to go along with Bubble Warren, like, TJ Warren in the trade as well. They
Campaign,
got
and they're probably getting Terrence Ross as well in the buyout market.
oh yeah, they get him. He's a good scorer. He's a good he's
3-point
a good
shooter.
fit. Yeah,
Yep.
it's just there's a lot of things that you're just like, huh, what a not bad trade for either team. And this trade deadline was nuts. You
Insane.
just like it was hard to even keep track of everything. There was almost a trade a 4-team trade that didn't go through.
Yeah, with the Gary Payton injury. There was a lot going on. One of the most exciting trade deadlines.
Yeah. Here's what we're kind of in our AO what the segment here. And as a Miami Heat fan, you're kind of like poking the stick at Pat Riley going, come on, do something.
How you bringing that trash team up? They didn't do nothing.
Exactly. They didn't do anything. That's my AO. What are we doing? What is going on in Miami?
I don't know what's going on in Miami.
And so that part was kind of like, whatever. But teams that surprisingly got a little bit better. The Celtics got some 3-point shooting help. Mike Muscala, he's a big.
I love that pickup. Love that pickup.
First game he comes in, they shoot 16 threes and a half, which is the most in franchise history. They come and do that. With Muscala there and Tatum and Derek White going off with Brown out with an injury.
Yep.
So like those guys, they're picking it up. The Clippers got a little bit better, which is kind of crazy.
Bones Highland.
They got Bones Highland. He's a great young guard, and they got Eric Gordon for a veteran presence and some 3-point shooting.
Yep.
That's pretty damn good. The Lakers get Mo Bamba. Lakers got Devon Reed. Not that that's like a game changer there, but they got D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. I wanted Jared Vanderbilt so bad on my team because he's just a lanky guy, a 3-and-D guy that we needed. But now the Lakers got him.
The Lakers got a whole lot better.
They did, and that
they got rid of Westbrook. A whole lot better with this trade. Yes.
So yeah,
terrible fit, and I think I think they'll be phenomenal. D'Angelo Russell has been balling, especially the last couple of seasons, and especially this season. He's a way better fit with LeBron and AD. He can shoot. He's not a high turnover guy. He can facilitate, but he can shoot the ball. And he can get his own shot as well. So he can run with that. He can spell LeBron when LeBron's on the bench too. Run with the second unit, facilitate the offense. I mean, Malik Beasley, knockdown 3-point shooter. Those are the type of people that the Lakers need. They got shooting and versatile defense. Jared Vanderbilt, I wanted him too, Jack. He's phenomenal. 3-and-D type 4 or 5. Now you can go him and AD. That's two versatile bigs who can both stretch the floor and shoot it and defend. The Lakers, the West is still wide open. As great as Phoenix is, the West is wide open, and we know that. And the Mavericks can make a case with Kyrie and Luka. Even they'll get that together. I mean, the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, the Warriors, will they ever really get back right? The West is wide open. I think it's an arms race, and that's why everybody's trying to put their best foot forward.
The West is so weird. I'm just looking at the standings.
It's jumping.
Because the Blazers even went out and got better defense in Matisse Thybulle. I'm not saying that's going to turn.
He's a good defender.
He's a great defender.
Great defender. He stinks at everything else. Andre Roberson. That's who he is.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I just unlocked the memory.
Yeah, you did.
2K.
that actually me just saying 2K just had it was so much deeper. It was so much deeper than just him playing Rachel Demita.
But yeah, I thought the Lakers and the Suns. I thought they won. I thought they won this trade deadline.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
They won.
I would. Yeah,
Mavericks third after them.
Yeah, I would put them there. No one else did anything like super crazy.
Yeah.
So I
would smaller
say
trades.
Yeah, I mean, I think Warriors finally getting rid of Wiseman. I think that helps Wiseman develop a little bit.
Yes, he needs to. He needs a place where he can develop, not a win now team and too much pressure. It wasn't the right situation. He's still talented though.
The Hawks kind of got a sneaky pickup in Sadiq Bey though.
They did. Very good pickup.
Sneaky. They're in the 8th seed right now.
Yeah.
In the East too, man. It's kind of for the 5, 6, and 7 spot, 8 spot, there's gonna be a fight.
Yeah,
They're gonna fight
I
for
wouldn't
that.
know. My team's in first place, so
It's
I don't
gonna
really
be a
look that
bloodbath.
low.
Look, take it easy, okay? We're supposed to be professionals, not homers,
You're right.
homie.
I
Okay.
forgot who did the Celtics beat in the Eastern Conference Finals last year? I forgot.
Right. Right. Right.
I was surprised, but now the reports are that either Russell Westbrook is going to sign with the Clippers or you guys. How do you feel about possibly adding Russell Westbrook?
My thing with Russell is that if he gets this notion in his head that he needs to take over, it's not going to be good.
No,
because Bam is developing into that guy now, and
finally.
Butler has been that guy. Hero is starting to develop, be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people want to have the ball. It's going to be the same thing that we saw with Kyrie and Luka, back and forth. Okay,
And
no
I think
shots.
that fit is fine. Yeah, that was just that final possession was weird. They played great. They played great.
Give them 3 more weeks.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to be fantastic.
They'll be fine
But
after the All-Star break.
so I like Westbrook for the fit of a running gun. Let's get out on the break, defense to offense kind of a play.
Yeah.
It's the half court sets that scare me, because if he starts shooting the way he has, it's not going to be good. I think though, if anybody can convince Russell Westbrook to play together and all these guys to play together, it's I think it's Eric Spoelstra. No question. If you can get LeBron, Wade, and Bosh to all play together with Ray Allen and a bunch of other pieces to make it work, I think they can make that work. I wouldn't be surprised though if he goes to the Clippers. I think he just to stay in LA, kind of.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna ship you out to Utah. All right, we're going back to LA.
Yeah, he wants to stay in LA. He don't want to.
I mean,
he's got kids. He's got families from there.
Or he's gonna do the same thing that he did with the Wizards. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna buy him out. They're gonna buy him out and stay and play. You know.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen with Utah, because they told him they don't even know how many minutes they're gonna give him, because they want to play. They're trying to lose. Clearly, it's Danny Ainge. He's got a bunch of draft picks. He wants Wembanyama. He's trying to lose.
He's not gonna get Wemby, because there's 3 other teams that have a lot worse records than they do.
But now that doesn't matter as much anymore, because the percentages in the lottery are not boosted to the worst and second worst anymore. So it's all even. We'll see. But I think what you said is right on. I think the issue with Russell Westbrook is, again, in the half court. His half court style involves him having to have the ball a lot, and no good team wants him to have the ball a lot. So if he has to play off ball, he's almost useless. And that's just the God honest truth. If he's off ball, he's useless. He's a guy who has to be a high usage guy in order to be successful and have a good effect on the game. And I don't think any good team is going to give him that type of usage. I think his finishing has started to decline. He could never really shoot that great, but I actually think that has declined as well. And he's not that great of a defender. And he still has the attitude of a star. And that's what clashes. That's some of the things that don't work. He's a great person. He's a great dude. But I just don't see, like, okay, you go to the Clippers, they're still going to have the same problems the Lakers did in the half court. Because, yes, he can facilitate, he can get guys their shots. Okay, Kawhi and PG want to go ISO. They're not going to be running pick and rolls with Russ all day. They want to go ISO. So when they go ISO and teams help off of Russ because he can't shoot, it's the same problem. So I don't know. I don't know where he goes from here. I thought maybe Chicago is honestly the best fit. I think Chicago is maybe the best fit, but I don't see it. I don't see him making a contender better. I just don't.
It's just too much of his play style that kind of contradicts everything. You know, if he was a better shooter, people would be all over him.
Yes,
he's not.
Yes, I don't think he'll be in the league in 2 years. I think if that, we'll see. This next stint, it has to work wherever he goes next. He's been going team to team. It has to work. If wherever he signs with does not work, he may have one opportunity after that. He'll be out the league.
So here, sending this off, we got 30 minutes a game. You get 30 minutes a game in the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. Your play style now, whatever. You're guaranteed 30 minutes a game.
Yeah.
In the NBA. How many you drop in a game? What's your points per game?
Me as I am right now, I'm guaranteed 30 minutes and as many shots as I want.
Yep.
I'm getting in double figures. I'm not going to shoot that great though.
Sam.
I'm getting 10 points.
NBA.
I'm getting 10 points.
You're not getting 10 points.
I'm getting 10 points. Off the
Sam,
strength, I'm getting 10
You're
points.
not getting anything off Joe Ingles. You're not getting anything off.
I don't have to go ISO.
Anthony Simons.
Catch and shoot. Catch and shoot. You tell me I can play
Do you know how fast they close out?
That's true, but they're not going to block all my shots. They don't play that much defense in the NBA. I'm going to catch and shoot. I'm going to play with LeBron, and I'm going to be wide. I'm going to play with Kevin Durant and them in Phoenix. They got to leave somebody. They're going to leave me, and I'm going to get you 10 points on a low percentage because I'm going to be bricking a lot of shots, and I'm going to get you 10 points.
I'm going to be a realist and say I've been saying this ever since I had this conversation with somebody. A point a game. A point.
That's about right for you. See, you can get a point. I'm an athlete, Football players can do anything. I stand by that.
That don't mean 10 points. There's not even guys who are in the NBA that average 10. Ain't it?
They got that dog in them.
Listeners, viewers, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Is Sam actually scoring 10 points a game in the NBA?
10-piece McNugget. 10-piece McNugget. Playing with greatness and I get wide open shots, I'm giving you 10 points. Book it. Tell us how many points you would get on our socials. Hit us up on the Locker Room Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everything. You can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Music. This has been the Super Bowl trade deadline edition of the Locker Room, Jack. Woo!